Welcome back to Football 101. I am Michael Spath here with Steve Morrison, like always, and we are breaking down Michigan's victory over Indiana. And early in the first quarter, 13:56, and this is the first nice long run for the Wolverines. Chris Evans just goes right up the middle.
Yep, and it's a really nice job by our center, Cole, and our right guard, Kalis. Indiana's going to run a double A blitz across the linebackers inside, and they do a nice job sorting it out and creating a space for Evans to run through, and a good tempo setter early in the game to give us some confidence running the football.
So last week, Steve, Michigan had a good screen pass to Chris Evans, but the left guard, Ben Bredesen, and the center, Mason Cole, struggled with it. Here at about 12:45 of the first quarter, Bredesen, if you could take us through the play, makes the play on the defensive back here.
Yeah, it's really nice. Again, we didn't execute this well last week. It's nice to see we got it. We got them in a good down and distance situation where they're going to bring some pressure, which is what you want to throw one of these against. And it's just a nice job of those guys getting out and getting enough on the secondary players to give Isaac some room to run. And also a good job by Poggi picking up the pressure and walling it off inside, and a good job by O'Korn really being patient back there, letting it set up and develop. But again, the two guys inside getting out and pulling, getting the key blocks were key.
9:04 to go in the first quarter, Steve, and a smart play by a senior here, Chris Wormley, on preventing one of his teammates from getting exposed on a play that he doesn't have much of a chance at.
Yeah, Michigan's going to be in man coverage here, and Illinois is going to try to take advantage of that. What they're going to try to do is crack the tight end back on Gideon, and who's responsible for the back, and essentially not allow him to cover him. And the back crosses Wormley's face, and by rule, he should pick him up and take him, and he does. And it's a big play because it sets up a third down, and we eventually get a sack. But a good job of a guy being a heads-up senior, making a play and being aware in the game.
All right, 1:50 to go in the first quarter, and Michigan's facing a 3rd and 3, and DeMonte Thomas comes up and lays a nasty hit to keep this from being a first down.
Yeah, this is a nice change up from a coverage standpoint. We normally play a lot of man coverage, and we're going to play a combination coverage where we're taking our corners and our safeties are going to play inside and outside on the receivers, and what we get here in this down and distance are two shallow crossers. And our safeties are able to take the inside, and like you said, Thomas comes down and makes a great read on it and a big-time stick to hold Indiana to punt the football. And it also another really nice job here by Ben Gidding. He's got the back. He's in a pick situation with two receivers into the boundary, and he steps up, gets at the level of the defensive lineman so he doesn't get picked, and actually does a really nice job covering this wheel route. So a real nice coverage combination change-up for us.
11:07 to go in the second quarter, and the one thing about Davion Smith is when he has a head of steam, you don't want to try to tackle him on one-on-one, and Indiana safety learns this the hard way.
Yeah, this is definitely a mismatch with Smith and the safety, and he does a nice job of hitting the gap, and safety's going to come set his feet, and he's got his heart set on getting the first down, and it's a great job of getting lower than him and getting up the field, and it's a huge play in this game. But also a shout-out to the guys on the edge. They're going to bring some pressure, and our receiver comes in and does a nice job of cutting off the outside pressure, and Hill does a nice job too in creating a seam for those guys. Great run.
Play after taking an unsportsmanlike conduct, Taco Charlton does a good job of pushing the left tackle upfield and creating an opportunity for a tackle for loss.
Yep, it's a really nice job of getting vertical penetration, and the whole idea with this play is to keep it stretching sideways, and he's vertical up the field, makes the ball, gets outside of him, but does so in a way where it's going vertical and not up the field, and a nice job by the backers staying alive and keeping their feet moving lateral, and eventually there's nowhere for this to go until we get it bottled up for a tackle for loss.
Davion Smith gets a nice 13-yard run up the middle here with just some simple football.
Yep, we're just going to run a power play, and really what's going to happen, Indiana, has been bringing a lot of pressure from the field. We're going to go formation heavy into the boundary, and we're going to run a simple little power play to the right. We've got them out-leveraged and outnumbered, and it's good execution. They're going to, like I said, they're going to pressure from the field. The line's going to move into the boundary. We pick it up, and Davion Smith is able to locate that hole and get it vertical for a nice gainer.
Second and goal for Indiana, and Legault keeps this ball on a read option, and Jabril Peppers is there. And the reason that we talk about this play is because when Michigan plays Ohio State, JT Barrett's going to have opportunities like this, and Peppers has got to make similar plays that he does here. A different type of athlete, but he's still got to make the play.
Yeah, and it's assignment football, and you're exactly right. These are when you have opportunities to play and to make plays in big games, and there's no bigger game than what we're going to play this weekend against Ohio State. You've got to make those plays, and Jabril does that here, and hopefully that's something that continues next week.
Arguably the most important play of the day for Michigan, a 34-yard run by Davion Smith, about 4:06 to go in the third quarter, to put Michigan up 13-10.
This is a great play, and we're going to just run a little delay inside zone, and our guys up front, specifically Mason Cole, does a great job of climbing to the linebacker, and then a great job by Darbo in a quarter situation where he goes in and cracks the support safety and gets a good block on him. Is able to spring Smith up the field, and just a great individual effort to get it into the end zone. But a hugely critical play in this game. It totally changed the momentum.
If Michigan's going to be successful against Ohio State, they've got to do a great job setting the edge of their defense. And here, another nice play by Taco Charlton to allow for his teammates to make the play.
Yeah, and again, it's just a zone play, and it's really going to be dictated on where the back takes it, on how the end plays it. And again, he's upfield, and he's vertical, and he's staying square. And the back's it's not going to declare real quick. And so we get an opportunity for our guys up front, and really all day long, I think they were active and we're able to make some plays, and the linebackers were staying in good position. So again, a good thing that we've accomplished this. We got to take it into next week and really play sound, aggressive football up front.
Steve, another huge play from Davion Smith, and again, similar to what Michigan's been running all in this entire quarter, where they just pull Bradison and get him out front and create a huge seam for Smith to run through.
Yeah, and we're going to change it up just a little bit, but again, we're going to see some pressure here from the field, and like you said, we're going to get a pull from Bradison. Typically, our fullback will be the lead blocker. We're just going to change it up and run a counter action and let the guard pull first, and then let the fullback go up inside. And again, we're running away from pressure. We seal it off, and it's a great big hole for Smith to run through, and he does a great job of taking it in the end zone. So nice call, great execution.
We keep coming back to this assignment football, because this is what Michigan's going to face with JT Barrett and Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique formation, and but the concept is the same. It's going to be a read zone, and you've got to have somebody that takes the dive, and you've got to have a quarterback player. Michigan executes it here well with Wormley and Peppers executing that, and again, that's going to be key next week to make sure we continue that.
And you really liked what Ben Gedeon did all game long, and Taco Charlton. Here they team up for a quarterback sack.
Yeah, I think this was Ben's best game from a run standpoint, and even from a coverage standpoint, really played well. This is a nice change-up. We're going to be in a three-man front, and Gideon's going to just come off the hip of the nose guard through the A-gap, essentially unblocked. Does a nice job of holding the quarterback up, and then Charlton's able to come through with a nice strong rush and clean him up. So good change-up in scheme, and again, these guys played real well.
We're looking for positive signs of John O'Korn and his potential to help Michigan beat Ohio State. Here we are, about 7:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Faces pressure, eludes it, gets a pass off to Amar Darbo on 3rd and 7 to complete a big first down.
Yep, and this is his first game, and struggled in some areas here, and really did some nice things too. But you're right. He's going to face some pressure. He stays in there, keeps his eyes downfield, keeps the play alive long enough where Darbo's coming on a crossing route to get the ball in his hands and make a hell of a play to get up there and get the first down. So nice to see that transformation, that progression in his play, and to make some really critical key plays in this game.
Our final play of this 20-10 Michigan victory leading up to the game is a 4th and 1, 3:49 to go in the fourth quarter, and the snow globe that has taken over Michigan Stadium at this point. And I don't even know there was a great block in as much as you just took advantage of the elements at this point.
Yeah, I think this is really a fun part of the game. We've got a 10-point lead. We're trying to ice the game out, and obviously we've got the snow on the ground, but a great job, and I think a really nice cap-off for Davion's day in terms of getting this first down. And the guys up front do a nice job. They do get through, and in fact, Davion actually pushes over the pulling guard. But great closeout, a fun game here at the end, and hopefully we continue this next weekend.